My name is Brian Jager. I now live in Jasper, Georgia, and I'm a retired physician, and I've done 2 different deals with Ashcroft to date. I have some other real estate investments with vacation properties and single family type rental properties, and so it was just more of again, listen to different podcasts. It was more of trying to expand into another area. However, I didn't want to be so hands-on and involved. So a crowdsourcing type situation was much better suited for what I needed. I'm an avid podcast listener for different economic. I didn't really have formal education in economics, so I listened to podcasts, try to educate myself, and I heard several different crowdsourcing, investment companies on some of these podcasts. And I actually had a conversation with Travis Watts, I believe his name is Watts. And it kind of went from there. I felt it was very comfortable with their approach and the company. And so that's pretty much why I chose them out of all the different ones that I had heard on those different podcasts. Some were bigger, some were smaller. This one seemed to be to fit me and what I was trying to accomplish. I was kind of new to the space and was trying to learn, and I kind of go in step by step. I just kind of see how it goes and is escalate the amount of investment that you do, and I plan to probably even move even further as time goes along. But the 2 investments that I made have kind of performed the way that I had hoped so far. It's been just a year, so hopefully it'll continue. We've been invested for a little over a year in the two deals, and it has worked out as expected, as the part of my portfolio that I intended it to be. They've been upfront. They've everything that we talked about when we initially vetted them has come to fruition, and so far we are satisfied with how things are going. It's met what I needed for my portfolio. This times the different things you're looking for, yield. Bond yields are low. It's very difficult to generate an income through different investments, and through a significant amount of research, this was one option that I felt that would be helpful to generate that type of cash flow and yield. And so far it has. One, it's, as I said, hands off. So it meets that, checks that box. It seemed to be very upfront, and they provide the information about each investment that allows you to make that informed decision. So that checked off that box. And 3, that they were accessible. I mean, you could call and talk to investor relations. You could talk to somebody that and quite frankly ask them do you have your money in these deals as well? And the answer to that was generally a yes. And so that was important to me, to have people that are running the funds or running the investments have their own money at stake and not just investor money. And so I think that those 3 reasons are at least a good start. I asked we result in cash flow, which was a big, as somebody that's, our cash flow essentially is how we live, because we were retired at this point. And that kind of added to that aspect of what we needed. And again, it's hands off. They manage it, but keep you informed, and so it did fit very well in what I needed to do for. Other investors may have questions that are in similar situation as myself, and if there's things that I can do to help answer questions or to show what my experience is, and that helps people get to where they need to be, then I think that's probably the reason to do that. So it's more of an educational kind of thing. Because when I was looking through, if I could see other investors and what their experience was, and not just paid people that are on there to tell you what you want to hear, people what their bad aspects were versus their good aspects, and that helps you kind of steer hopefully in a direction of somebody that has your benefits in mind instead of just their own. As of this day, yes, I certainly will. When I'll look to be part of the more deals. I'm interested in the new funds that they have. Obviously, the first one's closed, but the second one is something that to spread the risk a little bit more than just a single multifamily investment. And so that's something that I'll look at carefully. At this point, we've had somewhat of a transition with retiring and moving to a new state and doing some other things. So once that kind of settles down, then we move on to next step. That would certainly be part of what we're looking for.